What's up, everyone? It's Tim with the Gutter Growth Podcast. I have a special guest today. I got Zach Garside with Prolific Brand Design. What's going on, Zach?
What's going on? I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. How you doing today?
I'm just peachy now that I'm here.
Yeah.
Best way to start the day.
Good deal, man. So why don't you give us a little bit of background about yourself and your company and kind of what you do?
Yeah, my name is Zach Garside. I live in northern Utah, close a little town called Hiram that most people outside of here have not heard of. I like it. We like it rural in the Garside family.
Nice.
But grew up in Southern California. Came to Utah. Diehard Philadelphia Eagles fan. Go Birds! And I'm the president of Prolific Brand Design. We do logo design, truck wrap design, and email marketing for home service businesses. I've been in the trades for about 10 years.
Okay.
Grew up in the trades as well. My dad owned a locksmith business. Tremendous sacrifice that I witnessed my whole childhood. Part of the inspiration for me sticking with this industry as long as I have and continuing in it. But now I focus on helping contractors grow with great branding and great email marketing.
Good deal, man. So what type of businesses normally come to you? Just home service businesses, and what do they tend to look for? Is it like just they need wraps or email marketing? Yeah. How do you decide?
Yeah, on the wrap side, we generally work with home service businesses that are $2 million in revenue or more. Yeah, from HVAC, plumbing, electrical, garage door, window cleaning, gutter cleaning, roofing, lawn care, you name it. And same, very similar with email marketing as well. We work with a lot of garage door companies, quite a few window cleaning companies as well. HVAC, plumbing, the whole gamut. I'd probably name all the verticals, but basically if you got a truck and you're going into customers' homes to help them with a problem, it's pretty likely that we can help you with something.
Do you do like the whole branding, like you're doing their designs and?
Yeah, exactly. People generally come to us because they say to themselves, I've got this white van. I need to get something beautiful on here, some new kind of design or truck wrap, or they just know it's time for a rebrand. They're seeing their competitors do something fancy with their branding, and they're thinking to themselves, man, we need a refresh. So they come to us, and the first thing they ask for is a logo and a truck wrap. But we take it a little bit deeper with them, and we help them craft a full brand strategy. Like, how do you show up in the market in a way that is uniquely you? Yesterday, I had a contractor actually ask me for some feedback on a truck wrap design that he had done by somebody on Upwork. And Upwork's like a freelancer website, right?
Yep.
So he found a pretty good cost designer. They made him this wrap, and I looked at it and I said, look, we could sit here and I could go through it and give you my feedback, but the question is, number one, do you love it? And number two, do you feel like this is the best possible representation of who you are and what you stand for? If the answer to those two questions is not yes,
it's the wrong one.
Yeah, I don't think you've got it yet. Yeah. So that's really where we get to, is we want the brand to be an expression, like the best expression possible of what you stand for, what story you want customers to tell about you in the market.
So you're actually a real branding company.
Oh yeah. Brand strategy is kind of the foundation for us before design. Design is what people come to us for. Strategy is how we get them there, though.
A lot of people don't realize how important branding really is. You want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, I think of it like this. Number one, your trucks, depending on the market you're in, get 50,000 impressions a day. Maybe less if you're in a smaller town, but regardless, like the sheer volume of impressions that you get by driving through town is so massive even for a small company. That's the first reason why I think having a fantastic visual brand identity is amazing. But second is it gives customers something to talk about. People talk about brands that know who they are. They talk about Chick-fil-A. They talk about A1 Garage Door Service. They talk about, Amazon, and they talk about Apple. And of course, those are big examples, right? Like I could drill down to several more small ones too, though. We've got this client, Men in Kilts. They are a window cleaning company that wears kilts on the job, and their brand, they've got this character named Kilty. They've got this amazing green brand identity that just like sticks out when you see him, stands out in the market, and it also gives customers something to talk about. They know who they are, and everything they do is a representation of that.
They could probably really play on that too, huh? Just the whole
Yeah,
theme.
you lean into it. Like every choice is intentional. Too much of what we do in business is on accident. We just do things because other people do them that way.
Mm-hmm.
Most brands don't stop to ask themselves, particularly in the home services, where you have an opportunity in the customer's home to leave a mark. Most home service businesses don't ask them, who are we? What do we stand for? What can we do to send that message to our customers?
Mm-hmm.
It's such a big opportunity, I think, when customers treat it with intention, or contractors.
What if 3 days could unlock the growth your gutter business needs to dominate your market? Gutter Summit 2025 is not another conference. It's your shortcut to the exact strategies and tactics real contractors use to scale aggressively. Get inside the minds of industry titans, hands-on breakout sessions, and high-impact networking designed to fast-track your growth. Not only will you get an exclusive behind-the-scenes tour of Spectra and hands-on product training, VIP ticket holders gain access to private bourbon tastings, premium cigars, and next-level networking conversations that turn into six-figure deals. We're limiting this summit to just 260 hungry contractors. Once we're sold out, we'll unfortunately have to stop all sales and start a wait list for the following year, so time is of the essence. And the longer you wait, the more you'll pay. Ticket prices will rise each month leading up to the event. Gutter Summit, Atlanta, Georgia, at the beautiful Georgian Terrace Hotel. Practical tactics, proven growth, unparalleled value. Your next level breakthrough starts here. Reserve your spot.
Treat it with intention as opposed to letting it happen by accident.
What do you do like when someone comes to you and they're that guy with the the white van and they really have no idea, no clue about branding, and they don't even know what direction to go? How do you kind of get them on track?
Yeah, Ryan Kettering, he started Prolific. So Ryan started the brand design company. I started the email marketing agency. We brought the two businesses together.
Okay.
And when Ryan works with clients on brand design, he starts with a 4-hour long strategy session where he sits down with this client and he asks all the right questions. He asks about questions to help us understand what your brand's personality is, because there's actually 12 brand personality types.
Okay.
So we help clients understand which one is theirs. Like what personality does your brand have? What's your core belief? What's the main thing that you stand for and believe in? Why did you start this business? And then finally, what stories do you want the market to tell about you? Like, what do you want to be known for? And then in each of those three categories, he drills down to get really specific, really granular to help our contractors understand the essence of their business. And then finally, once he's got that, clients, number one, they walk away with tremendous clarity. They're thinking to themselves, man, I actually know what makes us different, what makes us unique. So they can go communicate that to their team and their customers. And then we're able to use that knowledge from that session to design a logo, a truck wrap, and oftentimes come up with an entirely new business name that accurately reflects who they are, because we did the work to dive deep, to ask the right questions, and figure out who they are.
That's amazing. 4 hours. I haven't heard of that before.
Ryan is a savant at this stuff. I mean, he's able to get the highest level contractors to sit down and really think, because most people wouldn't think I have 4 hours to sit and talk about our brand, right? But he knows how to kind of lay down the law there, set expectation, and really get people to open up. And it's transformative, to really walk away knowing, like, I am very clear on who we are, what we stand for, and how we're going to take that to the market.
Yeah. I mean, I know in my area, there's, several companies that their brand really sticks out, and I always notice their vehicles. It's almost like you don't realize how often you probably drive by the same people, but when you have a wrap, you do.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy about it is a well-designed wrap makes it seem like you're everywhere, even if you're not yet.
I've heard that even with guys that have one or two trucks only, like, we see you everywhere.
Exactly. Exactly. I was talking to one of our clients just a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I asked him, hey, he's in Florida. Naples, Florida. It's like very densely populated,
Yeah.
lots of competition. I said,
About 3
how
hours
has
from
this impacted your business, going through this process? He said, I had a customer the other day tell me that they see me everywhere, but I've only got 2 trucks. So it just creates this impression, right? This perception that you are everywhere when you might not be yet. And that's just one part of it.
And that's the thing about branding, right? It's like the perception. It's like their perception of you, the public's perception. And when they thank you everywhere, it's kind of like builds trust, right? Because they're like, this company is really, they must be really good because they are everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, perception's powerful. It's everything, right?
So where does email kick in? How do you guys start working with email at some of these companies?
Yeah, to kind of segue from brand to email, I like to look at it this way. If you've been in business for a few years and you've got an email list, let's say, just for the sake of numbers, we'll say 10,000 contacts.
Mhm.
You might be more, you might be less. But if you've got 10,000 contacts, basically what we help contractors with is average a 30 to 50% open rate every time you send an email and fill your job board with appointments. From a brand standpoint, number one, we're talking about a 50% open rate. That means 5,000 people are going to see your name, your brand, and your offer every week. So there's tremendous brand recall there. That helps it so that when a customer does need service, even if it's not today, you're the only one they think of. And then the second is it's just more leads and sales, because customers procrastinate things, especially home services. They procrastinate this stuff. But by being present in their inbox with a great offer, with entertaining content, you're positioning yourself in a way so that the customer stops procrastinating and actually takes action. We do a lot of campaigns that are focused on letting customers know how many spots we have left on our calendar.
Mhm.
If I'm an HVAC company, I'm going to send an email that says this week's forecast in the subject line. The email is going to be a weather report. Like, if you're the local heating and air company, you should also be your customer's weatherman. That's my opinion.
I like that. Sounds
100%.
like maybe gutters should do that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, we've got this week's forecast. We got a big storm coming in. If your gutters are clogged up, if you've got some debris in there, you
You do
might
a
want to get that
an
taken
actual
care of.
weekly forecast, or you just mix that in?
I think there's so many different content ideas, right? Like,
Mhm.
there's really 4 main types of emails that we do. One is the stories from the field email. So
Okay.
you're out there serving customers in the field. Tell the stories. Like, tell your email list when you get back to the office. Today I went out to this customer's home, went up to clean their gutters, and man, it looked like a family of beavers had built a dam in that thing. And first of all, you're going to get that reaction. You're going to get the nose breath laugh, is what we call it. Just a little
Yeah.
chuckle, little bit of a chuckle from the customer. And then you're going to get them thinking, by virtue of your storytelling, I wonder what my gutters look like. I haven't been up there for a while, right?
Yeah.
So you're telling stories from the field and you're making an offer at the end. The second is the Mythbuster email, which is, and by the way, you could use this in any format, not just email, social media, text message, your advertising.
Mhm.
But a myth busting email is where you just debunk common misconceptions about the services you provide. A good way to find ideas for this is I like to go on YouTube or Reddit
Mhm.
and find common do-it-yourself advice.
Okay.
So, like, what's the
That's some bad
do-it-yourself
advice.
advice? Exactly. Like, what's the do-it-yourself advice for cleaning your gutters on Reddit or YouTube? And then I'll go throw it under the bus in an email. Like, I just found the Reddit crowd is going crazy over this advice. Let me tell you why you should never do this.
Yeah.
So that's kind of your Mythbuster email. The third is just like good old-fashioned helpful educational content. That's where your weather forecast comes in, or some step-by-step instructions, how to change your air filter, how to check to see if your shingles need to be replaced on your roof. So you're just providing helpful knowledge, information for your customer. And then the fourth and final email is just the straight call to action. Like, hey, we're getting down to the end of July. We're looking to book the final few appointments on our July calendar. Let me know if you want one of these spots by replying to this email ASAP. So it's just very straight to the point. And those are the 4 main types of emails that we send for our clients to help them, again, get more. Get more leads, get more sales, and increase the brand recall so that customers only think of you when they need service.
What are most people without that's a good strategy. I love all this stuff. But people without strategy, what are they hitting? They're not hitting between 30 to 50% open rate. Probably not.
Well, the first thing is they're probably not even making it to the inbox. Most of our clients, when we start working with them, their emails are just going to spam first and foremost. And that's why people think email doesn't work, because they load up their email list, their 10,000 contacts, they send a blast, and they get a 15% open rate and crickets. Nobody responds. Nobody books a job. So they say, well, this is stupid. Email doesn't work. The odds are your email probably just went to the spam folder. No one saw it because you don't have the foundations of good, healthy email practice.
Yep.
Now, the foundations can get a little technical, so I try not to get too deep on it when I'm explaining it. But basically, you've got to have a clean email list. You'd be surprised how many people on your email list are either dead or have moved, or their email is just not active anymore.
So they're probably not using it.
Right. Like think about every time you send an email to your list and then you get 25 replies to say this email is no longer active, or this person no longer lives here. Or So you got to have a clean list. You got to have a good platform with a good reputation that lands in the inbox. And then you got to ramp it up slowly. If you go from 0 emails to sending 10,000 like that, you're going to go to spam folder because Gmail thinks you're suspicious. You're something weird going on here. Why did this guy go from sending 0 emails to sending 10,000? That's weird.
So if you hit your whole inbox, that could maybe be damaging. Do you do like a little at a time, or
to warm it up? Eventually you can send to everybody, but in the beginning stages, you got to start with a small group. Start with 30 people. Then the next day send to 50, and then the next day send to 80. And then you kind of ramp it up group by group like that until eventually you're sending to 10,000 at a time. You just can't go from 0 to 10,000 at once. You got to ramp it up.
Okay.
So that's the first thing we help our clients with, is getting those foundational pieces in place so that they're landing in the inbox first and foremost.
Probably everyone's biggest mistake, huh?
By far. I mean, pretty much everyone we work with has that problem because it's just not something that anybody thinks about. Most people think, I have a MailChimp account. I load my email list and I start sending emails.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to make sure those first pieces are correct. Otherwise, you could have the best subject line, the best content, the best offer, and no one's going to see it.
Other than that, is there any other things that make sure that they get into their mailbox? Or
one thing that we kind of stand with that is surprising to a lot of people is we don't do very much design in the emails. Like 0, almost. They look plain text, like they come from a friend. We'll generally put the logo at the top.
Yep.
But for the most part, it's plain text, maybe a picture, but it looks like a picture somebody actually took, not some stock photo or really big design thing. And the simple reason for that is when you put a lot of design in an email, 2 things happen. Number 1, it looks like advertising. If I open an email and there's this big, beautiful framing around it and all these colors and designs, it looks like an ad. And I don't want to look like an ad. I want to look like a friend. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is Gmail will actually, when they see a lot of imagery and design in an email, their red flags start to go up. They've got to run it through filters to decide if it belongs in the spam folder or the inbox, because it might be
Spam.
these images might be sketchy. This might be spam. This might be pornography. This might be something seditious and evil. So that's why we tend to stay away from heavy design and imagery. Plus, have you ever gotten an email? I don't know if you have, but I know I occasionally get an email from a brand, and the very first thing I'll see at the top is this email contains images that might be spam. And then you can either click show images or report spam.
Yeah.
Not a good first impression, right? Like, I don't want that to be the first thing. I don't want that to be the first thing customers see when they get my emails. Yes,
Yeah.
This might be spam. So we try to refrain from imagery as much as possible in our emails, and I encourage my customers to do it too. And plus, it's just way easier to send emails when you don't have to worry about all that stuff either.
Yeah.
Like, loading up all these pictures and designs, it just takes time. Like, it takes effort and time and detail to do all that. I'd much rather put together a quality offer and a quality message and send it, rather than spend an extra hour worrying about the placement of the images and the pictures. And it's just more work than it's worth.
Mhm. Is there like a certain consistency that you recommend? Is it like weekly? Is it once a month, or is there too much? Can you do it too much?
My experience and opinion has been that as often as you can send quality content that people like to read and buy from, that's as often as you should send emails. I've gotten to the point where I have sent daily emails in the past because I had built an email list that I was nurturing for 5 years. I built a good relationship. People came to understand that I was going to show up in their inbox on a regular basis. Once I had curated a quality list of customers, I could email them as much as I wanted because I had a relationship, I had trust, and I was good at it.
Yep.
But at the minimum, I think a home service business should send emails weekly.
Weekly.
I think weekly is a good cadence because weekly allows you to kind of rotate through those 4 different types of emails I mentioned. You can send a story from the field. The next week, you send a Mythbuster email. The next week, you send educational content. And the week after, you send an urgency-based call to action email. And then you just repeat every month, right? You do one of those every week. That's the simplest way to, and you'll see great results doing that. And then if you're doing some kind of special promotion that lasts for a limited time, you could send more. You could potentially send every day for like 3 or 4 days. But I think weekly is the minimum I would recommend to anybody. We've got a few clients who do every other week, and it works out just fine for them. But you'll notice also when I was describing that, I said I had curated a list of quality customers, not that I had built a massive 1 million person email list with as many people as possible. I want a curated, targeted list. The main reason, outside of getting out of the spam folder, that we get such high open rates is we only email people who open emails. People generally want to know, how do I get a 50% open rate with people who never check their email? Which is, once you really think about the question you're asking, it's kind of silly, right?
Do you cut them out of the list?
What we do is we start by sending to everybody. So we'll kind of, like I said, we'll break it up into small groups. We'll email one group at a time. And at the end of that, we'll have a fairly decent idea of who are the active people, who are the non-active people. And so we'll just split them into 2 groups. Here's your active segment of people who open the emails. Here's the non-active segment. So your active segment's of course going to get a 60 to 70% open rate, sometimes. And then your non-active people, we're just going to email them less often. So if you're emailing your active group weekly, I email my non-active segment every other week or once a month. And I'll just kind of move the people who become active into my main list. So
I like that.
Communicate them more frequently.
So that's how you're curating it. You're kind of sifting through, and then the ones that are active, you're putting them in one spot.
Exactly.
So you have a good campaign.
Yep. And then you could take it a step further from there, which is to go, of our active group, here are the people with open estimates, and here are the people who don't have open estimates. And then you can personalize the message based on those two, because open estimates are obviously the highest value contacts we have. Like they're the
Yeah.
ones who any minute we could close them and get a big big infusion of cash. So I generally like to split the active group into those two segments as well.
When someone comes to you and they're interested in doing email marketing, like what's your approach with them to get them set up?
Yeah, first thing we look at is what platform are you on, if any. Are you on Service Titan? Are you using something else to send emails and something for your CRM? Just kind of become familiar with like what's the tech stack.
Yeah.
That way we know if we need to help them set up a platform or not. If somebody doesn't have an email platform, we set up a constant contact account for them. That's our favorite for home service businesses. It's easy, constant contact's easy. They have good deliverability. After we have a good platform, then we do the technical stuff of making sure that your emails land in the inbox and not the spam folder. And then we warm up your list. So we'll break it up into those segments I was talking about, and we'll send our first campaign one group at a time until we've hit everybody. Generally, for most businesses, takes like 3 to 4 weeks to go through that process.
The warm up phase.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, though, you've got a platform that's set up correctly. You're confident that you're landing in the inbox and not the spam folder. And you know who your active contacts and your non-active contacts are. So you know exactly who to send emails to as often as you want.
So then you kind of got those groups gathered up by the first month. Yeah.
And then from there, it's just sending your weekly email.
And so
Scooping up
what's
leads
a
and sales.
typical, what should someone expect out of an email campaign? Is it 1%, 3%?
To be safe, I say 1 to 2% response rate. That's a great response rate, especially depending on the size of the list. I also put a little asterisk next to that, which is these are home services, right? We're not selling e-commerce trinkets that people click and buy on impulse for $10.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
selling $100, $500, $1,000 or more home services. These are things that homeowners only buy once or twice a year. So you've got to be adding new names to your list all the time. For example, there's a cleaning company here in Utah, window cleaning, maid services, that we worked with for a while. And for the first 6 months of our relationship with them, they were killing it. I mean, the email campaigns were just constantly bringing in new leads and sales. It was awesome. And then we reached a plateau. And they asked me, what's up? What do you think we can do to shake it up? And I asked, well, when's the last time you guys added new leads to this list, new customers? They're like, we haven't. We never have, literally, ever. I said, well, we could keep emailing the same group of people over and over again in perpetuity, but these are things that people only buy once a year. So if 50% of your list has bought in the last year, it's going to be pretty tough, right? Again, even if you have the best content, the best offers in the world, it's going to be kind of tough to get people to respond to your emails.
Yeah.
If they don't need to. So I always preface my remarks by saying a 1 to 2% response rate is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, I focus on adding quality names to my list and just being consistent because of the brand value that comes with that. Even if nobody responds to an email that you sent today, don't stress it. Don't worry about it, because your name is there. Your brand is there. You're creating that recall, that recognition. You're providing value and entertainment that customers respect and appreciate. And you never know which email is going to hit. With email, it's beautiful because when I run ads, every ad costs more money.
Mm-hmm.
You want to incorporate another ad set, you got to pay more money. But with email, you pay one flat bill every month for your email platform. And then you can send as many messages as you want. Like if I send an email today and it doesn't work, big deal. I can send another one tomorrow.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost me any additional money to do so. So email is just such an easy, low hanging fruit way to scoop up leads and sales without spending any extra money on marketing. And they're leads that you already have, right? It's a list you've already collected.
I think most of them aren't doing it. Probably 95% aren't sending out. But as far as like getting new names on the list. Like obviously, as they're getting leads in throughout the week, they got stuff coming in their CRM. You know, they might get 20 estimates a week, and that's adding to the list. But are there other ways that you can do it outside of people that are already contacting you?
Oh, for sure. There's so many. I mean, you could get real creative with the ways you build your lists. Like, I wish more people would, because most people when they run advertising, they go straight for the sale. They're like
Yeah,
trying to get people who are ready to buy now, which you should. But I also wish more people invested in just good old fashioned list building campaigns.
yeah,
For example, I've got a friend here in Utah. He runs a exterior cleaning business. Great business, and they've got a couple branches, and he runs ads to a free PDF. It's like the simplest page ever. He does a little video of himself, like, hey, I've got this free PDF that shows you, I think it's the 3 questions you need to ask a company before they clean your home. Is something like something along those lines, right? Or 3 things you need to know before you do any exterior pressure washing, or 3 things you got to check for before you put any Drano in your pipes, or 2 things you got to be mindful of. Again, it's just sort of that educational, like, again, myth busting mentality.
Yeah.
Again, same mentality of those emails applies to your other content. He just runs an ad to that simple landing page where people can put their name, email address, and phone number to get this free report, the information. And, you know, you get 10, the average business I would bet could probably get 10 to 20 or more leads a day that way, of just people who want the information. And then you've got 10 to 20 leads now that, number 1, are on your email list. So they're going to be getting your content. And number 2, you have their phone number, so you can call them. Like, hey, it's Zach. I noticed that you picked up my free report the other day. Super appreciate it. I'm just curious what made you want to pick that up. What's going on in your life right now that made that relevant for you?
Yeah.
And now you're starting conversations with people. I wish more contractors did that, because from what I see, most just go for the kill, right? They want to run ads. They want to get phone calls immediately for people who are ready to buy right now. But I think there's a huge opportunity to build a list of people who live in your area, who are at least interested in what you're doing, and just having that, right? Like, why would you not want that asset?
Yeah, I was actually looking into that last week. I was playing with AI, asking it questions, but it's I seen someone that had like a clickbait thing, and then it, you know, in the comments it had a link, and it was the same principle. And I was actually just asking it about that, because I'm trying to build a list too. You know?
Yeah. With like gutter cleaning. Let's think here. What would I do if I had a gutter cleaning company? I would use gutters if I was a roofing company. I would say free gutter cleaning, right? Because I want to get on the roof and I want to see the roof. But if I was a gutter cleaning company, I might do something to the effect of, I don't know, what's something you see in a lot of customers' homes that they don't realize is going on?
Just a lot of stuff. You know, down here in Florida where I'm at, a lot of the houses don't even have gutters. So then they're starting to get foundation issues or settlement cracks.
Okay.
You know, rotted siding because it splashes back. I mean, it's endless type of damage. I'm sure there's tons of things that you could come up with to get people to click into.
Yeah, I could go through all the different industries and workshop it, and it would probably take a ton of time. But if you're a home service business that hears this, go into ChatGPT or Claude.
Yeah.
Describe your business, what you guys do, all your services. Be as detailed as possible with the scope of your services and the pricing and the pain points that you solve for customers. And then ask it to give you 10 ideas for free reports that you can create to get customers interested in working with you, and roll with it. You know, like, we have the technology to make this stuff super, super straightforward, right? You could ask it to make the report for you even, and then plug it in on the other side of a landing page. Hire someone on Upwork to put together a simple landing page for you. Run the ads for, $50 a day, and watch what happens.
The AI is getting crazy because, like, we rely on it so much. It's almost like I couldn't imagine going back to not having it.
You gotta be careful, right? So, like, I don't want it to cannibalize my ability to think critically and do my work for me, but I also want to be productive with it. So it's
What was that one you mentioned, Claude? Is that
Claude. That was my personal favorite. I
I've
actually like
heard
Claude
about
better
it.
than ChatGPT. Like
Why is it
Claude,
better? Just curious.
speaking for myself, I can use Claude. Well, can I screen? Nah, I'm not worried about it. On Cloud, I can connect Claude to my Gmail calendar, to my Google Drive, to my
Wow.
Stripe account, to my Canva account. It just integrates with so many platforms that I
Wow.
use. And so I can, like yesterday, I got an email from a customer, and we've had maybe 10 email threads between each other. So many messages.
Yeah.
And they were asking me about something that came up in the past. I was like, it's going to take me an hour to search through all of our conversation history to find the info. But because my Claude account is connected to my Gmail inbox, I just asked Claude, hey, find me the answer to this guy's question.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it went through all of our conversation history in my inbox, found the answer for me, and then I was able to respond like that.
Is there a cost to it? Was it a couple $100 a month?
It's exactly the same as ChatGPT. It's like it's ChatGPT's closest competitor, probably. So it has its free version, but if you want to integrate with all the tools, it's $20 a month for their pro plan, I think, which is the same as ChatGPT's pro plan. So
yeah,
yeah,
cool,
I'm a big fan. I like the responses better too. I think it's more thoughtful, but that's just been my experience.
I haven't played with it yet, but you got me curious, so I might.
Yeah, it's solid. I like it.
So what's some advice that you got for some of these gutter guys when it comes to branding, just marketing, just in general? Is there something that sticks out?
The big theme that carries itself through all of my work and my advice is approach marketing your company with intention. Don't let anything happen by accident. And by accident, when I say by accident, what I mean is don't just follow advice blindly that you see getting posted online. Don't just let customers, oh yeah, we get some referral. We get a lot of referral phone calls, and we get a few people from local service ads, and we get some calls from our Google business profile. You can hear in the way people answer, how do you get leads and customers, that a lot of people just don't really approach it with enough intention. They don't design it the way they want. They just kind of let it happen. But then when things slow down, all of a sudden it's like 911, we got to fix this. Can we get it done yesterday? Right. So I think it's a worthwhile exercise for anybody to, sit down for an hour a week, 2 hours a week, and just really audit, like, how are you getting leads and customers?
Mhm.
Where are they coming from? What's working? What can you double down on? I'm a big fan right now of Dr. Benjamin Hardy. If you're familiar with him, 10x is easier than 2x.
I haven't read it yet.
Oh man, he's so awesome. But I just finished his new book, The Science of Scaling.
Mhm.
And the thing that I'm really thinking a lot about right now that I learned from him is it's important that you set really, really big goals for your business. Like goals that seem impossible.
Huge.
Because if you have a small goal, like my goal is to go from 1 million to 2 million. How many different paths can you take to achieve that goal? There's so many. I mean, there's literally an unlimited number of things you could do to go from 1 million to 2 million. You could knock on doors, pay-per-click, SEO, Google Business, referral campaigns, email, SMS, all these different channels. But if your goal is to go from 1 million to 10 million in 1 year,
Whole different strategy.
yeah, how many options do you have now? You have significantly less.
Yeah.
You have maybe 2 or 3 things that you could do that would get you to that number. And so it's actually easier to hit that because you have less noise. There's less choices that you have to make. This was why I merged my email marketing business with Prolific.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that as an independent service provider with one contractor who was helping me, I could reach a certain level of growth. But then when Cristiano came and gave me the opportunity to merge with them and become a part of the greater Prolific, and we started doing the math and looking at the way we could go, I realized if my goal was to get from 1 million to 2 million on my email business, I would have been spinning my wheels working so much.
Yeah.
But by 10xing the goal, it's like this path becomes obvious. At this this is a very clear path to 10xing the number. And I can't think of literally anything else I would do to get to that big of a number in a single year.
If you weren't thinking about 10xing it, then that might not have even been an option you thought about.
Right. Most people, and this is another thing, this is all Benjamin Hardy stuff, by the way, but most people, we let our past determine our present,
Yeah.
which is to say, because last year I made X, this year I think I'll make Y. So we're basing right now on what happened last year. But you don't have to do that. You can say, thank you, past self. I appreciate the work you did, but I'm now going to take advice from future me. So instead of letting right now be determined by what happened in the past, let right now be determined by what you want to happen next.
Right.
It's not, I made this much last year, therefore I think I'll make this much this year. It's, I want to make this much next year. Therefore, here's what I need to do today to get there. So everything is based on what you want in the future, not what happened in the past.
I agree with that. I've actually had this perception that history is not really as important as people make it out to be. Because I don't really think history does repeat itself. Because like you're never in the exact same situation you're in the history. Like, you know, like nowadays we have, you know, social media, we got AI, we got all these things. They didn't have that 100 years ago, 200 years ago. So how can you really compare? Like, you know what I mean? So I think
the context is totally different.
Yeah, I think people really do overvalue the past.
People, it's why I'm so I invest in tons of coaching. I love to invest in like groups, masterminds, coaching, things that I could help me get better. What I'm not a fan of though is blindly following advice of somebody who had success in the past, right? Like I want to collaborate to find answers for the future, not copy what happened in the past. Because if I, for example, started a toilet paper business in 2020,
yeah,
and made a killing because it was 2020 and the government was putting paychecks in all our pockets and toilet paper was flying off the shelves during the pandemic. And then I turn around and I say, hey, I'm starting a coaching business where I'm going to help people build successful toilet paper empires. The context is completely different. Like it's not even the same situation at all anymore. You know, the guru you're taking advice from, you don't know. They went to Harvard. They had this incredible upbringing, huge family support, giant nest egg. You might have none of those things. So we often compare ourselves to other people, to the past. It's just our frame of reference is just not healthy.
Yeah.
Everything needs to be based on the future. Everything needs to be based on where do you want to go, not where did somebody else go? Where have you been? We make all our goals for the future by looking back. When we need to turn our attention and look ahead at where we're going.
Right.
It's another reason why I just love brand and I love email as marketing channels, because these are channels that, number one, brand has nothing to do with anyone else. Companies often say to themselves, I'm going to build my brand based on what other companies are not. But that's a flawed foundation because from the start, you're basing who you are on who other people are not.
Yeah.
It's about someone else from the beginning.
It should be about you.
It should be about you, period. End of story. What do you represent? What do you stand for? Who are you? What do you offer the customer? What promise are you making? So it's about you and who you want to be in the future. It has nothing to do with anything that happened in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And then email marketing is very much the same way. We have all these relationships with our customers. And so now we get to say, yeah, these people worked with us in the past, but like, what do we want to sell them next? We have these 10,000 customers. We've already got them. We did the hard work to earn them. Now, let's figure out what else we can do for these people. It's way easier to make money from an existing customer than it is to get a new one. Significantly easier. And so email is a channel for us to be able to do that. You could send an email to your customers that says, hey, you know, we came out and cleaned your gutters. I'm just curious, of these 3 services, what are you most in need of next? And then you ask people if they want exterior pressure washing, if they want roofing, or they want, you know, drain cleaning, for example. You just put some services you're thinking about offering and let the market tell you what's next.
Like a lot of the gutter guys, they're getting into Christmas lights now. You know, they got this whole customer base.
Yeah. Christmas lights is huge. That was actually my business in email marketing started with a Christmas lights campaign.
Did it really?
Yeah. Do you know Megan Likes? Jeff Likes Clean Windows.
Yeah.
So Megan was like, "Hey, do you want to come do an email campaign for our Christmas lights service?" This was kind of after I had left my previous work and was trying to figure out what I was going to do next.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Sure." So we put together an email campaign to sell Christmas light services, and it went awesome. I was like, "Yeah, I think there might be something here."
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
so
it's a great business. Christmas.
It
lights.
is. I actually really like it.
Yeah.
When my kid gets a little older, I kind of want to get him into that. I think it'd be good for him.
Oh, you should, man. It's my third season this year. I started a company called Griswold's. I did
Oh,
a
that's a great
$250,000 the first year, $500,000 the second year. I don't know what I'll do this year, but I'm shooting for $1 million.
Yeah,
But
there you go.
it's repeat, so you're building something. That'd be a great business for you, son.
Griswold is a great name for it, by the way.
Thank you.
I might have to steal that one up here in Utah. That's a good one.
No doubt.
Yeah. What else do you want to talk about? What else should we cover for folks today?
Yeah, man, that's pretty good. Just yeah, I mean, you need branding. I mean, if you don't have branding, you do need it. You're sitting on these huge lists. I'd say 99% of nobody's paying any attention to them. And I really like that idea you had about collecting emails, because I know nobody's doing that.
Yeah.
What type of budget would you put towards something like that?
Oh, I mean, it depends on this company, right? Like how much a company can afford. But if you were to run the bare minimum I've seen people do for Facebook ads, I'm thinking specifically in the context of Facebook advertising.
Yeah, same.
The lowest budget I've ever seen succeed with an approach like that is $10 a day.
Okay.
So I've seen people run ads for $10 a day. So you're paying $300 a month to build your list.
How many people do you think? Have you noticed an average of what you can get out of a budget like that, as far as how many new leads? You can get?
I personally haven't. Like I haven't done it for home service businesses, right? Like that's not a service we offer. It's just advice that I've seen friends do it. I've seen them be successful with it. And I know that if I ran a home service business, there's no question I'd be doing it. I'd be doing $50 a day running ads to build my email list of people who might not even need my services yet. Because I just think it's a really big missed opportunity that home service businesses are so focused only on people who are ready to buy now, as opposed to building a list of people who might also buy in the future.
And that's also an opted in. They're opting into this, so the chance of them actually getting the email is pretty high.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm always like trying to hedge myself, right? Like, how can I make it so that when things slow down inevitably, I have a list I can turn to book jobs on command. Right now it's summertime. So in HVAC, these guys are rolling in it. There's jobs galore. Phones are ringing off the hook. There's tons of opportunity. On the back end, I would be running some simple ads to build my list in the background, so that when the fall hits, when shoulder season comes around and all of a sudden the phone's not ringing off the hook,
you got a strategy.
I can put together a great offer and send it to the 5,000 contacts that I added to my list during the summer season to book some jobs. It's just a great asset to have for that very reason.
What about the subject lines?
Subject lines, first of all, are not as important as the from line. So you got the two parts of seeing the email in the inbox. There's the from line, which is who sent the email, and the subject line, which is what's the email about. The from line is the most important part, because if there is trust and a relationship between you and the person who sent you the email, you'll open it no matter what the subject line says. For example, if your mom sends you an email today and she literally forgets to put a subject line in, like it just says no subject.
Yeah.
You're probably going to open that email because it's from your mom. If your best friend sent you an email with no subject, you'd open the email. If your wife sent you an email, you get my point. The from name matters more than the subject line. But then when you get to the subject line, there's a couple different ways you can approach it. One is just to be to the point, be straightforward. How to change your filter, how to check your rain gutters, how to fill in the blank. So you could be to the point. The second is you could use cultural references to provide an entertainment factor. So, for example, the Superman movie came out in theaters 2 weeks ago. If something's like in the cultural zeitgeist,
Yeah.
you could kind of use that, like, this is how Superman would clean his gutters. So you see, now I'm taking this ordinary thing that anybody could say, how to clean your gutters, and I'm kind of putting this entertaining spin on it. That's, again, very unique.
Maybe
stands out
Superman
from
just
out of
came
market.
out at the time or something.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I want to play into those things. Always be thinking, how can I take this ordinary thing we're going to talk about and turn it into something that's entertaining and fun? If I was going to teach this to my kids, what would I wrap this in? Right? I'm always having these lessons with my kids, right? Yesterday, my son, who's 8, he came to me and he was really upset that he doesn't have his own room right now because we're constructing our basement. And normally he would sleep in the basement, but we're renovating and building the whole thing. So he's sleeping in our room right now in our closet. And he was really bummed about this. Like, I just want my own room, Dad. I'm like, how can I teach him that you got to sacrifice something in the short term to get what you want in the long term? How can I? And I came up with this Lego analogy. I'm like, when you get a Lego kit and it takes you a day and then you're done, it's pretty cool, right? But then there's a Lego kit that takes you 10 days to build. How cool is that one when it's done? And he says, those ones are awesome. Those ones are so cool. I'm like, that's what your room situation is, Kate. Your room was the one-day Lego kit. We created this makeshift room for you in our basement, but now we're creating the 10-day Lego kit bedroom. It's going to be longer than 10 days, but
Yeah.
But I think that
about it probably.
But you got to get him excited by using things that he understands and finds interesting. And I do the same thing with home service emails. Changing your air filter, getting your gutters cleaned, getting a new furnace installed. These are not things that the average person sits up at night thinking are awesome.
Do you follow Google Trends and stuff like that for ideas of when something's trending?
That's a great idea. Yeah. I'm subscribed to a couple of email newsletters, ironically, that are there's this one guy named Jason Levin who's he's meme marketing. So he just focuses on what memes are trending. So I'll open that sometimes to just see what's trending, if I feel comfortable leaning into it, and using those types of things. But even in your community, right? If I'm a diehard Philadelphia Eagles fan. Unfortunately, I don't live in Philadelphia though. I live in Utah. But if I did live in Philadelphia, right, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl,
that'd be it.
Dude, I'd be leading so hard into that for all of my promotions and content. I'd be doing some $17 AC tune-up because what the heck? Why not? I'm feeling so generous. I'm feeling so happy right now. Who's with me, right? There's a guy who we did an email for air conditioning companies a couple months ago, where the email said it was from your air conditioner and the subject line was "please help." And the email was written by the air conditioner, basically saying, "This is your AC speaking. I'm sending electromagnetic pulses through the thermostat to your phone to say, please help. It's been so long since someone has been down here to take care of me."
That's pretty clever.
It's just that creative spin on it. So you could be to the point. You could use some kind of cultural or entertaining reference to kind of put a little flair on whatever the angle is. Summaries are also great subject lines. So if I'm telling a story, for example, about going to clean somebody's gutter and I found a dead animal in a gutter or something,
like a squirrel or something.
Yeah, I might summarize the story in the subject line I found this. I can't believe I found this in someone's gutter, right? So I'm kind of leaning into the curiosity angle a little bit. But that's the from name is the most important part. The subject line is the thing that's supposed to make people go, and I would say curiosity is the golden rule. If I was to sum this all up, I believe that people open emails, click links, click on ads, buy products and services mainly because of curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
I think curiosity, just my personal opinion, is the most powerful force in marketing. I think people spend more money to satisfy their curiosity than just about any other thing in the world, with the exception of like saving your life or avoiding disaster, right? Avoiding disaster and pain, satisfying your curiosity, and achieving pleasure, like in that order. I would kind of say are the three things. So take those three angles. Maybe that's the framework we just created right here and there. When you create your
Yeah.
subject lines, how can you help somebody avoid pain, satisfy their curiosity, or achieve pleasure?
You can use ChatGPT to help you come up with these, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could take this whole interview, you get it transcribed on a free YouTube transcription tool after this is done, plug the transcription into ChatGPT. and be
Really?
like,
Man, I gotta get up
Dude.
on these things.
everybody should spend at least an hour a day in AI just figuring out what they can do with it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
think about it. Anybody could listen to this interview you and I are doing right now on YouTube. Take the YouTube link. There are free YouTube transcription tools all over the internet.
Yeah.
Put the link in. It will transcribe the whole video for you. And then just go in ChatGPT, create a project and say, I want you to write me a year's worth of marketing emails based on the advice in this podcast. Put the transcription in there and have it do it for you. Now, I'm not going to promise you that those emails will be any good or that they're going to land in the inbox. For that, you're going to have to come to me. But yeah, there's so many things you can do.
Speaking of that, Zach, I appreciate you coming on this podcast today. How can people get a hold of you if they want some fire branding, kind of want a new look, or just start, generating more business through their contact list?
Yeah. Go to prolificbranddesign.com. PROLIFIC branddesign.com. You can book a call with us there. You can check out some of the work that we're doing. That's the best way to get in contact with me or anybody on our team.
And we'll also have a link that you guys can go ahead and click that. So we should have a link when we have this posted. But I really appreciate you coming on. I think this was really valuable for everyone. And you got any last words?
No, I'm grateful. Thank you very much, Tim. Very
Cool.
grateful.
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you.